morning and happy Monday. It's the 12th of July 2021 and this is our latest Jester IT Consulting YouTube. I spent a good chunk of the weekend working with the Windows 11 preview, and it has some interesting points. They've rearranged some things, taken away some things, added some things, etc., etc., and probably the best way to get to know it, if it's something that you're looking at adopting fairly early, is to go ahead and join the Insider program, download the actual preview image. Don't go out and get one of the goofy images off of the internet, because you have no idea what they are. I have no idea what they are. They may be fake, they may be full of God knows what, so probably best to just avoid them altogether. Joining the Insider program doesn't take very much time. You just need a Microsoft account, which of course is free. You can start a new account, or if you have an old Hotmail account that's 8 million years old like I do, you can certainly use that. Get on the roll, and then they will direct you to the image for download. There's all kinds of instructions that are already out there on YouTube and everywhere else on the internet, so I won't bother you with those. I will put the ones that I used in either the comments or the description to kind of help you get there. You can load it in a VM. VMware is the one I use. I haven't used it in Hyper-V, but it is a Microsoft product, so it shouldn't be that hard. Or you can load it on a laptop, desktop, etc. If you're looking at loading it on old hardware that doesn't meet the hardware requirements, there are ways around that as well. I think I put in the description of the last video a quick way to do that, but I'll do that with this one as well, just so you can get it on an old piece of hardware and start to play with it. I've done that a couple of times on a couple of really old laptops, and it did go on, it did load. The install completed, there were no hardware error messages, and it is up and good to go. And on old hardware, I did get the dev copy, but on old hardware it actually runs fairly well under the circumstances. I haven't loaded it on a newer laptop yet, just because mostly I don't want to displace what's there. But I have a couple of lying around here that I could probably image and save what's on there, and then play with it for a while, and then when I get tired of it, put the image back and everything will be honky-dory. So that's kind of what we got going on with the Windows 11 preview. I'm still looking at other alternatives to Windows 11, basically and solely the Linux desktop versions. As I stated last week, so far Twister OS and now Twister 11, which is just kind of a cute off play of Windows 11, are kind of my favorite as far as non-technical people, or non-geeks I really should say. Just the regular desktop user, something that's would be familiar to Windows 10 or Windows 11 when people get more familiar with it. It's easy to install, it doesn't take up a lot of resources. So far I really haven't found a whole lot of problems with it, beyond the typical package issues with running Windows software, but even then it's not that big of a headache. There's a fair amount of documentation out there about it already, so a lot of 1, 2, 3 step guides on getting things up, loaded, running, moving data over, etc., etc. If you're trying to replace Windows Server, that's a whole different headache. Of course, Red Hat and a couple of the other main distributors have had server replacements and migrations from Server 2000, whichever, for years. But that's something you want to bring somebody in. If you're not an IT company that has a specialist in that, that's something you definitely want to look at bringing somebody in to handle. It's no day at the beach. It is somewhat fraught with potential difficulties, even for people who have done it several times. There's always some fly in the ointment that's going to take a bit of outside thinking and a fair amount of experience to get around. So that's how I would handle that. Of course, we can do it for you, but if you have an IT company that you've used before or that's in your local area, please give them a call. There are a couple of really good ones that put stuff out here that I've put in comments before, so feel free to use those. Or at least shoot them an email and see what they got going. That's pretty much it for today. Any questions? Feel free to drop me a line, and we'll move forward and let everybody know how it turns out. Have a great Monday.